June in China has few holidays or commemorative days. If there are any, it's Children's Day on June 1st and the June 4th massacre of 1989, which the CCP has completely erased within China. For 37 years, the CCP has been covering up the truth of that year. On June 4th this year, Beijing and Hebei experienced rare strong winds and hail, with footage showing ice accumulation like snow. Some overseas Chinese netizens commented on X, believing this was God showing the injustice of 37 years ago. The June 4th incident, also known as the 1989 Democracy Movement, refers to the pro-democracy protest movement initiated by Chinese university students in mid-April 1989, which lasted for nearly 2 months and spread from Tiananmen Square in Beijing to the rest of China. In the early morning of June 4th, the CCP mobilized the army and armed police to massacre unarmed young students and civilians in Tiananmen Square. According to unofficial estimates, the CCP shot and killed thousands to tens of thousands of people. Strangely, the CCP paid no price for this massacre. Instead, on December 11, 2001, it formally joined the World Trade Organization, treating 1.4 billion people as its assets, or we like to call them hostages, thus initiating a period of rapid economic development for China as the world's factory. As a condition for joining the WTO, China pledged to undertake extensive economic reforms, significantly reduce tariffs, open its service market, eliminate non-tariff trade barriers, and strengthen intellectual property protection. Of course, none of these promises have been fulfilled. After 3 years of the pandemic, the remaining population of China has become a mystery. Many overseas Chinese analysts believe that China now has a maximum population of only 1 billion. The CCP has finally reached its end, and the economy is now entering an unusually rapid decline. In the following episode, we'll examine the bleak situation faced by people from all walks of life in China during last month's May Day Golden Week. Today is only April 26, a few days before May Day holiday, and it's still Sunday. But it feels like some shops are already on their vacation. See? Traffic has dropped a bit today, conversion rates have decreased significantly, and users aren't placing orders. Have you all prepared your goods for May Day? Today is the 30th. Guangzhou had a torrential downpour yesterday, but it's sunny today. Market sales are still not ideal. Overall, the temperature isn't high enough. Good quality watermelons at high prices aren't selling in large quantities, and those at reasonable prices but with quality defects aren't selling fast either. It's like the sky is falling. May Day is just 1 day away and I haven't received any orders this year. In my 10 years in the industry, I've never experienced such a slow season. This year's May Day holiday was the worst in nearly 30 years, even 50 years, if not more. Look, with such good weather, the entire market is practically deserted. During the May Day holiday, the streets are completely empty. Not a single person can be seen. I just want to ask everyone, where did everyone go? Have you ever spent the May Day Golden Week holiday like this? Sitting in an empty shop, watching your summer clothes pile up as inventory, wondering why no one is coming during peak season. A real Black Monday, not a single table in the evening. How can this business survive? Does anyone else feel the same way? This year's May Day tourism market is really a bit unpredictable. Judging from the bookings our travel agency has received, compared to previous years, there has indeed been a decline, to be honest. But strangely, the popularity of major scenic spots is still not bad at all. Actually, it all boils down to the changes that have quietly occurred in tourist travel habits and choices. May Day Golden Week usually refers to the continuous holiday around May 1st, Labor Day, in mainland China each year. In recent years, it is often extended to 5 days through adjustments. Note that it's adjustments. This means combining the weekends before and after May Day to create a 5-day holiday to boost the tourism industry. Before 2007, the CCP's May Day Golden Week was 7 days, not the current 5. This was because various government departments found that the concentrated 7-day holiday after adjustments to work schedules caused extreme congestion in traffic and at tourist attractions across China. Therefore, after 2007, the holiday was shortened to 5 days, with the days distributed across other festivals such as Qingming Festival, Dragon Boat Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival. The CCP's allowance of these traditional festivals is not intended to allow Chinese people to remember the traditional culture through them. On the contrary, the CCP deliberately and meticulously erases traces of traditional culture. For example, renaming the Chinese New Year as Spring Festival, which has no traditional Chinese cultural significance, is one example. The CCP government's purpose in creating long holidays under the names of traditional festivals through adjustments is crude and singular: to promote tourism, stimulate consumption, and boost the economy. During the 2026 May Day Golden Week holiday, as in previous years, multiple CCP state media outlets released tourism data intensively, attempting to depict a bustling and prosperous consumption scene. However, the videos above show the true economic situation. China's economy faces multiple pressures, including shrinking foreign trade, a sluggish manufacturing sector, tight employment, and weak consumption. The gap between official propaganda and public perception is widening. In the 10 days leading up to May Day, does everyone's business boom? In previous years, this time of year was incredibly busy, with a large shipment once a week, and then 3 restocking trips in between. But this year, it feels like I only have 1 large shipment per week, with almost no restocking in between. The pace seems similar to February, March, and April. It seems customers these days don't care about holidays when buying clothes. Just surviving this year is already a miracle. Look here, almost empty. My goodness. This May Day holiday is going to be a disaster. Today is the 30th, and tomorrow is the first day of the May Day holiday. Starting from the 30th, there has been almost no orders, and prices have gone back up. Merchants in many places are reporting that this year's May Day holiday is likely to be the worst year for business, and it'll probably get worse in the future. Many merchants are posting videos saying that before the May Day holiday even started, there were very few tourists on the streets, and hardly anyone was buying anything. Businesses are struggling to stay afloat. One merchant said that there's simply no consumer spending. For example, if 6 or 7 people were going to eat a large pot of chicken, they would normally order a large portion, but now they would only order a small portion. It's getting worse every year. A restaurant owner said that during mealtimes there's not a single person in his restaurant. And it's not just his restaurant, the restaurant next door is also empty, and even the Luckin coffee shop across the street is deserted. A clothing store owner also said that the national economy is indeed facing serious problems. I'm in the clothing industry. In previous years, business would boom a few days before May Day, with many customers buying vacation clothes. My WeChat moments would also be filled with customers going on vacations. But this year, far fewer people are posting travel photos on WeChat moments. If any, that would be those who are mostly going on short trips. Business at the end of April this year has never been this bad. The word bad is inaccurate, it's dismal. I've been in the women's clothing business for 13 years, and I only have about 4,000 real customers on WeChat moments. We can't make any money, nobody wants to spend. One netizen commented on Chinese social media, now tourists generally only buy food when shopping. Even if there are many people during May Day, it won't help. There's no consumer spending to revitalize the economy. Another netizen said, "It's the same everywhere, everyone is broke now, so many people are spending less on travel and will skip some non-essential purchases." Some people said that now, during May Day, because nobody has money to spend, many free attractions are overcrowded. Now, the wealthy and powerful in China are all going to Europe and America. People with a little money go to Southeast Asia and some neighboring Asian countries. Many of them don't want to come back after going abroad, taking too much money with them and then investing it locally, buying real estate or opening shops, etc. The rest of the people in China are struggling to make ends meet. The current economic climate is bad. Things aren't good anywhere in the country. Even my husband's classmates in Chengdu, Sichuan, who works in the same industry, own 6 or 7 shops, and last year his revenue was less than half of what it was the year before. Just like ours, more than half less. This year, making money is so hard, business is so tough. A friend just came over, she runs a restaurant in town. Her restaurant is about 80 square meters. She hired an employee for $295 per month, and the rent is $2,217 per year. She hasn't hired a chef yet. Her husband is the chef. She asked me, "How's business today? Did you make any money?" I said, "You see, we've been chatting for half an hour and we've only sold 2 bags of food." She said, "Well, you're still better off than I. My 80 square meter restaurant didn't get a single customer yesterday. I didn't make a penny." Guangdong is practically deserted. You can barely see anyone on the streets. The bustling crowds of the past are gone forever. Many factories can't be rented out. Many large factories have moved away, some to Southeast Asia, others back to their provincial capitals. This is a Dalian development zone just after the start of 2020. The Korean sushi restaurant closed down. Let me tell you, 1/4 of 2026 has already passed, and our country has already entered a state of extreme consumption. Look around me, all I see are delivery drivers, and this phenomena is just the beginning. This is the Dalian Development Zone. Look at this Chicken Head King barbecue place. This is the only street in the folk village. These shops aren't high-end, but let me tell you, in the Dalian Development Zone, they were absolutely packed before. Look, this place is empty. Now, nobody's here. Where have all the missing office workers gone? Look at Ibayer Hospital, the orthopedic hospital to the north, Bashu Yuan Kindergarten, Zhongtai Office Building, Postal Savings Bank, and you can see the high-tech zone committee behind it. There must be tens of thousands of people working, studying, and living in this area. Where are you all on weekdays? The clothing business is really driving people crazy these days. The most common sentiment I've been hearing lately is that after decades in business, we are getting worse at selling and sourcing goods. We feel like we are doing something wrong everywhere. Even though I'm a veteran in the clothing industry, it's hard to even get a deal made. People's desire to consume has decreased. I feel like so many people just buy groceries every day and cook them themselves. When the CCP joined the WTO, it didn't do so as a market economy. During the initial negotiations, China was given a 15-year transition period to transform its planned economy into a market economy. After 15 years, the international community would assess its eligibility. However, the CCP interpreted this as automatic acquisition of these qualifications after 15 years. Therefore, the US did not grant China market economy certification, nor did the EU, and the WTO did not approve it. After joining the WTO, the CCP illegally erected various trade barriers and high tariffs to prevent the entry of US products. Competitive US products either couldn't enter China at all or were subject to high tariffs, while corresponding Chinese products could freely enter the US. For example, the CCP imposed high tariffs and censorship on highly competitive US cultural products such as films and art, high-tech products such as pharmaceuticals and automobiles, and financial products such as banking, securities, and insurance. Meanwhile, it completely banned the most competitive US internet companies and media such as Google, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The most serious disruption of free trade after the CCP's WTO accession is the massive government subsidies received by state-owned enterprises. The CCP uses market incentives to coerce foreign companies into joint ventures with domestic enterprises, forcing foreign companies to hand over some patented technologies and trade secrets. Under the rule of the CCP, Chinese people work for global companies for extremely low wages. The CCP even forces prison laborers into production, allowing Chinese goods to compete with foreign companies at extremely low costs. In other words, the economic system controlled by the CCP is not a normal economic system, but a massive factory used for unrestricted warfare. Whether it's a planned economy or a so-called socialist market economy, it remains under wartime control, providing a platform for the CCP to control and allocate national economic resources. In the wave of globalization, a large amount of American manufacturing has begun to shift to China, including many strategic industries such as steel, aluminum, rare metal smelting, electronics manufacturing, high-end machinery manufacturing, solar, photovoltaic panels, battery energy storage equipment, pharmaceuticals, and medical equipment. This has not only led to the decline of American manufacturing, economic slowdown, and limited technological innovation, but has also seriously affected American national security. More than a decade after China joined the WTO, the Americans finally realized that the CCP had no intention of fulfilling its WTO commitments, nor would it participate in fair competition according to WTO rules. The CCP is merely using the advantages of WTO accession to systematically force technology transfer, steal American technology, and cripple American manufacturing through trade barriers, government subsidies, and dumping cheap products. This led the US government to launch a trade war against China in 2018, demanding structural reforms from Beijing to transform China into a true market economy. The changes in the manufacturing supply chain brought about by the US-China trade war also coincided with the bursting of the CCP's real estate Ponzi scheme bubble, shattering the CCP's economic myth. Unfortunately, it is the vast majority of China's middle and lower classes who suffered the most. A memory of an era, Shuibei Station is completely demolished, gone, all gone. Look how desolate this RT Mart in the heart of Mingguang is. Just look at the parking spaces at the entrance. Look at the parking spaces inside Jin Street. You can't even hit someone with a stick on the street. So many parking spaces are empty in the commercial area. Do you think this is a disaster?
今年这个年一过
After the Spring Festival this year, many manufacturing factories may never be able to reopen. Many people are saying, let them continue the tariff war. If we can't do well in foreign trade, we'll focus on domestic sales. With a population of over 1 billion, are we afraid we won't be able to sell our products? Actually, this is a huge misconception. If foreign trade fails, then all manufacturing factories will die. This is not an exaggeration.
我们如果再过样子下去啊，
If we continue like this, how long do ordinary people think they can hold on? Changsha City may still appear bustling and vibrant, with people seemingly busy, but if you truly delve into the lives of ordinary people, you'll find that many are just empty shells, barely clinging to life.
既然硬撑，个人因为我的
That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.